The Expert Edge for Unibet with Russell Barwick and Kane Corns.
Hello everyone, welcome along to the Unibet Expert Edge for AFL Round 18. I'm Russell Barwick, he is Kane Corns, and he is thumping the chest after tipping almost the card last week, except for one game, which was Port Adelaide versus Fremantle. Would you believe that was the only one I think you got wrong?
Yeah, we won't talk about that one. That was a disaster. That was the one I would have put my life on. But Port Adelaide disappointing, and it could cost them a top 4 spot at the end of the year, Russ.
Yeah, it certainly was a very average game after a very sensational game with Sydney and Kangaroos. But that was last week. What about this week? We've got the Saints, second Friday night in a row. They were okay last Friday. Can they match it with the Tigers, however?
Well, history would say that they can at least be competitive. They've covered the line in 5 of their last 6 matches with the Tigers, so that's maybe some value there, but I don't think they can upset Richmond, who, believe it or not, have won 19 consecutive matches in Melbourne. They're 0-4 when they've travelled away from Melbourne this year, but they don't lose in Melbourne, and I wouldn't expect them to lose on Friday night.
And Josh Caddy's kicked 3 or more goals in his last, or 5 of his last 6 against a Victorian team, so watch out for him to kick some goals. Our second match is going to be an absolute pearler, the Cats and the Demons, and both teams in rare form, and then all of a sudden go horribly wrong the week in. So a bit of inconsistency about both of these teams.
There is a little bit. I mean, Melbourne are coming off 2 good wins, but they haven't really played some serious opposition. So this will be a real test for them, particularly because it's down in Geelong, where Geelong have won 13 out of 14 with against Melbourne on that ground. So very difficult to beat, very difficult to tip against the Cats down there. Now, speaking of Melbourne, with Jack Viney, their skipper, he's out for a month. Angus Brayshaw has really stepped up, and he's had 30-plus disposals in each of Melbourne's last 3 Saturday matches. So he's getting plenty of it. Viney won't be there for a while. Look for Angus Brayshaw to be the replacement through the midfield.
Now, last week we saw 2 massive upsets. The Giants beating Richmond was one, and then your mob losing in Fremantle the other. So they meet this weekend in the twilight game on Sunday, and a lot is on the table in this game.
Oh, it's huge for both clubs. So for Port Adelaide, they must win to stay in touch with the top 4. And for the Giants, they got to keep this momentum rolling just to qualify for the 8. But they're dangerous, the Giants. So let's talk about Port first. Each of the last 7 games between the Power and the Giants have been won by the favourites. So look out for that. Port Adelaide at home will be favourites. But the Giants, well, one of their stars through the midfield, there's a number of them, but Stephen Coniglio, he's had 30 disposals and a goal in his last 3 games. So Coniglio, Shield, Callum Ward through the midfield, Josh Kelly are all guns. But look for Stephen Coniglio to continue his good form on Sunday afternoon.
Okay, so let's have a look at the tips for Kane Corns as we look at AFL round this week. And Kane, you like most of the favourites to win, tipping the odd upset, but it'll come out, I reckon, to that final game whether you think you'll tip the perfect round this weekend. And I'm tipping the Giants, of course, because I think that they can continue on their winning run. Let's have a look at the Unibet specials now on Friday night. He's going with Josh Caddy to kick 3 or more goals and the Tigers to win that game against St Kilda. We butter that up into the Cats to win and Tommy Hawkins to kick 3 or more goals in the match in Geelong, and all up into your mob, the Port Power to beat the Giants and Chad Wingard to have 30 or more disposals. That's the Unibet specials from Kane Corns. Hope you can turn that into $1 or $2. Don't forget the website, unibet.com.au. Download the app, gamble responsibly, and we'll see you next week for more AFL Round 19 Unibet Expert Edge.
The Expert Edge for Unibet with Russell Barwick and Kane Corns.